gave me her addict, she catch it, retrieve it. She just like my Evans, she finna receive it. I just swiped the A-man, transaction completed. I just ate the shroom and I went up the V. I just found me a line on the side with need. On the zone with some bosses, we having a meet. Drop that bag on my dog just to make sure he eat. Had to send an ID when them car got the free. She gave me her addict, she catch it, retrieve it. She just like my Evans, she finna receive it. I just swiped the A-man, transaction completed. I just ate the shroom and I went up the V. I just found me a line on the side with need. On the zone with some bosses, we having a meet. Drop that bag on my dog just to make sure he eat. Had to send an
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am back again. Welcome to I Want All the Smoke. This is a really, really good episode we got coming up for you today. And, it's crazy because, the gentleman I'm speaking with today, he is all the way out in the Dominican Republic. So this is how this is exactly how far this thing goes. But when I came across him on Instagram, I saw he had a really nice cigar that I want him to talk to y'all about. So without further ado, Mr. Charles Farrell. I said it right?
Farrell.
Hey, my bad. Farrell like to sing.
Yeah.
He making tunes. So Mr. Charles Farrell.
Yeah, well, spelled a little bit differently, but the same pronunciation. Yeah.
I can dig it. Welcome, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Doing great. It's great being in the Dominican Republic. I've been here for over 13 years. I love it. It's my home. And one of the great things about it is I get to enjoy some of the world's best cigars every day.
Okay. So 13 years in the DR. How'd you swing that?
Well, what had happened was I have a educational project that I run where I work with young baseball players.
Oh, awesome.
So that's, yeah. We're trying to basically get them a good education. My organization is called the Dominican Republic Sports and Education Academy. And so we try to educate young baseball players, hopefully to get them scholarships at U.S. colleges and universities, but certainly to help them with English, career planning, things like that. So that's what brought me to the Dominican Republic, but the lifestyle tends to keep me here.
Okay.
I love the lifestyle here.
So you're
and no snow.
No, can't go wrong with that. So you say no snow. Where are you from originally?
Originally, I grew up in Pennsylvania, not far from Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yeah, I had been living in New York before I moved to the Dominican Republic.
Okay. All right. So what you doing now? You helping the kids out with baseball and everything. Are you a baseball guy yourself?
I played many moons ago in Little League. I was not good enough to advance anywhere beyond that. But both my parents were educators, so I grew up with the understanding of the value of education. Mm-hmm. And just saw a need here in the Dominican Republic where you had so many young kids interested in baseball, but they were never going to make it in the Major League Baseball. But I thought if they could get an education, they'd at least have a chance to have some success in life beyond the baseball field.
Awesome. So you said about 15 years you've been doing that now?
13 years. 14 years in October.
14 years in October. How was it for you for the experience wise? I mean, I know you said you went out and you want to help with the education and everything, but for us in experience, I mean, it has to be something really good, a really good program that you're part of to be able to keep you down to help a young individual get to the point of where they need to be.
It's very rewarding. You have kids that just because the educational system is not great here, really don't have a concept of what education can do for them. And that's one of the things we try to explain to young kids is that, if you set a pathway you set up a pathway to success. And follow that pathway. If you know what the pathway to success is and you follow it, you can be successful. But if you've never been shown a pathway to success, right, then it's very difficult. So one of our premier goals or premier missions is so that you understand that education is a tool that will get you to the next level if you want to get to it.
Okay, that's cool, man. That's pretty That's pretty awesome. So down in New York, of course, you down there, you by yourself. Any family with you or not?
What now? Repeat that?
I said, so you're down there by
No,
yourself.
no,
Any
I'm
family?
here. I've been here by myself. No, no, I live here by myself. I have friends here, but my family. I have a older brother. He lives in the States.
Mhm.
But I've made some great friends. There's a group of expats, Americans who have moved down here,
Right.
and like myself. I've met a lot of great Dominican people from other countries like Venezuela, Colombia, Italy, Germany, Canada. So it's a pretty diverse nation. So it's not just Dominicans or just Americans. So it's been a great experience.
Wow, that's awesome. So so you start experiencing from a tourist standpoint, because now I'm the tourist. How does that what do we look like when we get off the plane down there? How do you look at tourists now? How do you being in New York, Philly, and then going there being for the past couple of years or whatnot? Now you can see the tourists through their eyes. So how does that look
Right,
now?
right. I mean, I've been here long enough that I think, I speak Spanish. So I have a command of the language. I have a command of the culture. The average tourist getting off the plane the first time, they're very easy to spot.
Yeah.
They're just very easy to spot. And one of the things that when I say we, myself and other expats who have spent some time down here, learn the culture, learn the language, is to do just that. I mean, spend a little time knowing what the Dominican Republic is about. I've known people who get on a plane and fly here and have no idea where it's located. They just got
Right.
on have no idea of its history. I mean, the Dominican Republic is actually where Columbus landed. He didn't
Mhm.
land in the United States or in America. He
Correct.
landed in the Dominican Republic.
Mhm.
So the New World actually began in Santo Domingo.
Okay.
Columbus named it, Santo Domingo. So to know its history is very important. um, some of its bad history. This was the first location for slavery in the New World. Not many people know that. So there's that. And it also, we tell people who are coming, it pays to know a little bit of Spanish.
Right.
Hola, adios. A few words go a long, long way. And the biggest thing I particularly say to Americans is don't be ugly Americans.
Right.
One of the biggest things I had to learn to live here was to put my American ego at the door.
Mhm.
Americans tend to think they know everything, have the best of everything, and want to tell the world or tell people you don't know how to do things the right way. Well,
Right.
the Dominican Republic has been here since 1492, basically. And it's still here. It's a beautiful country full of beautiful people. And if you take time to enjoy it, you'll have a fantastic time.
That is awesome. That's awesome. And of course, I just got a little bit of a history lesson because a lot of what you just spoke of, I honestly I didn't know. We know what we're taught, but in order to
Exactly
speak with someone like you who's been there for a while, because you live amongst the people in their region, you get to know more because you get the firsthand. You're not getting the book version. You're getting the mouth version. What's been passed down from generation to generation. That's awesome.
Exactly.
So, and then you talk about the weather. The weather's always nice.
It's we have a rainy season. We have a hurricane season, which we're just about to get into.
Mhm.
Fortunately, the Dominican Republic has not been hit hard by a hurricane since 1997.
Okay.
So we've been very fortunate. I've been through some bad weather incidents, some very bad tropical storms. Tends to get very hot in the summer.
Mhm.
I mean, you're getting up 95, 100 degrees in July and August. And, people learn that you stay home during the day. You stay in the air conditioner, you come out when the sun goes down.
Exactly.
So you get very accustomed to it. the weather. But what I have learned is the best time to be here is January and February, when I can watch it snowing on television in the
Right.
United States. You know, I don't have to deal with snow or freezing cold or any of that stuff, and I'm very happy to avoid that.
You know, my wife would love that.
Well, you know, you should bring her on down sometime.
Hey.
You know,
It's in the plan. It's in the work right now.
okay,
Definitely the plan. So with the weather, the great climate, weather like that is good for tobacco.
absolutely, absolutely. It is probably, if you know the history of cigars, and not to, you know, just to give you a brief background, I started smoking cigars in 2006. Actually, I was on a trip to Dominican Republic, a vacation in Dominican Republic, tried it. I had a very surreal experience where I was sitting on, I bought, but just by chance, bought some cigars,
Mhm.
a Monte Cristo, they're called Monte Cristo Memories. And I
Okay.
just happened to buy one. I'm sitting on the beach one night, the sun is going down, the water's calm, I'm listening to some music, I'm sipping a drink, and I'm smoking a cigar. And a little light went off in my head. It just clicked. I said, here's this beautiful experience, and the cigar is an intimate part of the experience. The
Right.
cigar, without the cigar, it would not be as great an experience. And it just clicked. And I've been a cigar fanatic ever since.
Nice.
I've smoked over the years probably about 400 different kinds of cigars.
Mhm.
I worked for a while in a cigar shop in New York. So I learned the business of cigars. I wrote a newsletter about cigars. So I'm pretty much self-taught, you know, but you know, I'm just fascinated by the whole history of cigars. There's a mystery to cigars. There's an intrigue to cigars, and you know, I'm talking to the choir. I mean, you know, people who don't smoke cigars will come to me sometimes and say, "Well, I don't get it. Explain to me about why cigar." And I can't
Right.
do it.
Right.
I can't do it. It's like if you don't get it, I can't explain it to you.
I can't explain. I can talk all day till I'm blue in the face, but you just won't get it. It's just me talking.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been a fan of cigars for about 15 years now. I love to smoke them, love to talk about them, love to discover new cigars. I've been fortunate enough down here to meet some of the premier master blenders in the country.
Mhm.
You know, some of them I've had their cigars, and then you're meeting the guy that came up with some of the greatest cigars in the world. I met Carlito Fuente, who's the head of Arturo Fuente.
Okay.
You know, my favorite cigar is the Opus X.
Mhm.
So you're talking to the people who came up with this. You know, I know the people at Aurora Cigars, at several of the cigar companies I've been to on tours. I met the rollers. I met the people who have come up with the blends. So it's very interesting to be given access to the industry of cigars in the Dominican Republic. So I'm privileged to be able to do that as well.
Hey, I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah.
Jealous. So you came. So now with you, you know, it's been there for a while. We starting to the cigars, and like I say, you get so this stick that we had that you have.
Yes. There it is.
La Llama.
You got it, La Llama.
La Llama.
La Llama.
La
You got
Llama.
it.
So
La
La
Llama.
Llama. So that's your blend.
That's my brand. That's
Okay.
my brand.
So let's talk about the La Llama. How did what? I know you sent me the clip off YouTube of the guy who was rolling. Now was that the La Llama that he was rolling, or that was just something else he was
He's the
working on?
one. Well, that's my friend Ramon. I've known him ever since I've been down here. He rolled tobacco at a store that I frequented. About a year or so, he decided he was going to go out of he's been rolling my personal cigars for 10 years. And he started rolling. He's in his 40s now. He started when he was I think he learned when he was like 8 or 9, sitting on his grandfather's knee.
Okay.
So he has a whole history of understanding tobacco. I call him El Mago, the magician.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good. You could give him a cigar. You give him a cigar you like. He'll say, come back in a couple of hours. He'll basically dissect. He'll do a forensic inspection of the cigar and come up with he will put together a cigar that you'll smoke it. And it'll be so close to what you gave him that you'll be, he's done it for me before. He just has a knack for tobacco and understanding what makes a good blend.
Right.
And I've been contemplating for a number of years of coming out with my own brand. I've known some people who have done that. Some of them have been successful. Some of them have not. And so I was talking with Ramon one day and I said, I'd like to come up with my own brand. He said, well, let me fiddle with a couple of tobaccos and see what we can come up with, see what I come up with. So he did one. I said, I like it, but it needs a little bit of this. Came back with a little something different. All right, that's better. And then finally he came back up with the blend. Let me turn this off. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Okay. All right, sorry about that. That was actually Ramon calling me.
Oh wow! All right.
He must his ears must have been twitching or something. So, so he came up. I said I want to start my own blend, my own brand, and he said, "Well, let me see what I can do." And he came up with this blend. I started sharing it with some people I know, and they said, "I love it."
Right.
You got to really put this together. I said, well, it takes a lot of work. He said, well, you already got the biggest job, or the biggest work has already been done. Ramon already did that.
Right.
He gave you a great product. Now what's up to you is to come up with the logo, the name, and start really trying to market it. And so that's where I basically am right now. Is I have the blend, I have the band, I have the name. Just a little bit about how we came up with the name. The flame in Spanish is la llama. Okay. The llama is la llama. So both the flame and the llama are identical in Spanish.
Got it.
So I said, well, that's interesting. So I said, well, let me combine la llama with la llama. So that's how I came up with the llama in the midst of the flame.
Midst of the flame.
Yeah. So, and I'm really trying to create sort of a mystique. If you look at the band, it doesn't have the name on it. Only when we package them up does it have the name on it, because I'm trying to get people to think about the flame or the llama or both, and remember that, and be able to start asking, well, I'm looking for that cigar with the llama on it.
Yeah, I'm looking for the cigar with the burning llama.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So trying to create this little bit of mystique about it. So that's where we are now.
So let's talk about this street. Let's get into it, because I'm gonna have to order some from you, and then I'm gonna have to come back, so I'm gonna smoke one with you and talk about it. And we'll bring Ramon on. We'll talk about it as well.
Okay.
All right. So let's get into it. Talk to me about this stick. I know you sent me some details on it, but what you got going on with it? And don't give out all the secret sauce either.
Oh no. I mean, it's very straight up. It's the filler and binder are Piloto Cubano, that's Cuban seed, Dominican grown tobacco, with Criolla 98, which is very high end Dominican tobacco, and those are blended. Proportionally, only Ramon knows. That's the secret that we're not going to give up. What's the proportion that he blends? That's that he knows how to put those two together so that they complement each other.
Had a consistency.
And it's consistent.
Right.
Okay. And right now we're offering it only in the Robusto size with a natural wrapper, Habano wrapper, which is Nicaraguan.
Okay.
And the Maduro is San Andreas, which is a Mexican wrapper.
Mm-hmm.
And they all bring their qualities to it. Dominican Republic is not really known for its wrappers.
Right.
Okay. The first Dominican grown wrappers were for the Opus X.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's really when Dominican wrappers started catching on, because Fuente proved you could grow good Dominican wrappers. But for the most part, Dominican cigars have wrappers that are made in other countries.
Right.
You know, so that's that. I wanted to keep it fairly simple.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to get, I've seen a lot of times where somebody wants to say, we used a pinch of that and a dab of this and a dab of do and a dab of do. And cigars in themselves are very simplistic.
Right.
It's not a complicated thing. It's really not a complicated thing. And often people want to, get into this mixology of tobaccos that actually, I think, confuse people. And if you keep it to a simple 2 or 3 tobaccos and talk about what are the good qualities of this tobacco, I like a cigar that burns evenly, has that nice ash, has a great aroma. That's the thing to me. When you light it and you go, oh wow. Because to me, a good aroma is part of the experience as well.
Exactly.
A cigar with a good draw that you're not tugging on it all the time. Those things are very simplistic. And that's one of the things we try to do with Llama is keep it very, very simplistic. We don't put it in a box. The band, as you can look at the band, is very simplistic. We're trying to put the investment into the cigar, into the tobacco, into the cigar,
which is understandable.
So we're not getting really fancy. I don't know if you can see this, but this is how we package it.
Okay.
All right. It's shrink wrap like that, and so we're right now, particularly as we're introducing this, trying to keep our costs down to the consumer, so that the consumer can get a reasonably priced cigar. And because I think, particularly during these inflationary times, the cost of cigars, good cigars, is going up and up and up. I remember when I started out, you could get a good $5 cigar. You could get a good $5 cigar.
You're right. You are correct.
I think you have to search for that now. There are a few out there, but more and more, particularly when you go to a cigar lounge, it's going to be real hard to find a good $5 cigar.
You're correct.
So we're trying to do things very, very simplistically to say, hey, we're going to give you a good cigar for a good price, and hopefully you'll come back and get more.
Right. So your future plans with La Llama, is it to get into cigar lounges as well, to get them to start stocking the lounges, or what's the plan?
We would not turn that down. Right now, sales are by word of mouth. I have friends that I've sent some, provided some samples to. They've smoked it. They shared it with their friends. I've gotten orders off that.
Okay.
So I've been happy with, and now it's just trying to expand. I'm not trying to compete with Fuentes or La Aurora. I don't want to deal with thousands and thousands and thousands of cigars, because then I think I've got to be even more into the quality control.
Right.
And with that many, when you get to a point, I can't do the quality control myself.
Right.
I'm a little leery about trusting others with a cigar that I'm putting my name behind.
So I understand that.
So we don't want to get too huge, but we are looking and talking to a few cigar lounges, some people I know who either have connections with cigar lounges, to say, hey, why don't you get your guy to take 20 of these cigars or whatever, pass them out to a few customers, see what they like. If you like them, then we can get a few to you.
Right.
We're not interested in becoming a competitor or a big producer of cigars. I look at it more as a boutique cigar.
Right.
Just a small, company that produces a good cigar, and that people who find our brand and stay loyal to our brand will consistently get a good cigar.
Right. Okay. So, so I say, and I looked, I was trying to see, actually, if you actually had any information when it comes to ordering the cigar. So I guess it would probably have to reach out through you through social media.
The easiest thing right now is exactly what you did. Is I just started the Instagram a week or so ago. That's going pretty good. I'm getting some people who are inquiring, and right now that's probably the easiest way. We're working on a website. I have somebody doing a website development for me. We haven't sort of gotten it, to where I want it yet.
Right.
So the Instagram, I'm probably going to start a Facebook page and just try to. Right now, social media is so big that you can get at least preliminary word out there on what you're doing, what it is. So that's what I'm concentrating right now is social media,
right.
Word of mouth, contacts I have, to just tell people there's a new cigar out there, and we think if you try it, you'll like it.
Oh yeah. So how you get, so when you get out of you come to a lot of folks that never smoked a cigar before, and I ask everybody this question: when it comes to recommending a cigar to somebody who never smoked one before, would you give them the La Llama, or would you recommend something else? Okay.
No, I would give them the La Llama. One of the highest praises that I've gotten is, I had a friend of mine. He's not an everyday smoker, but he said this could be my everyday cigar because it's not too strong, but it gives you, it's almost like if you're a Scotch drinker, and it's like a 18-year-old Scotch is a very good Scotch, but it's smooth, okay? And you're drinking it because it's smooth. And I think that I'm not equating this with a 12-year-old Scotch, but I'm saying it's the type of cigar that is smooth enough, but gives you that flavor of tobacco,
right,
that you're going to get the flavor sensation without it knocking you out.
Right.
And the other thing that I'm very much into is pairings of cigars. What drink do you pair the cigar with? I'm a bourbon drinker. Okay. And so, but I also drink. You live in the Dominican Republic, you're going to drink rum. They have a brand of beer down here, Presidente beer. And so I've always liked when I can have a drink and enjoy a cigar with a drink. And when I talked to Ramon about blending it, I said, I want something that will go with all that will complement the flavors of almost anything you drink. This goes good with this will go great with a cup of coffee.
Okay.
You know, it'll go great with go great with a beer, with a nice red wine. I wouldn't quite recommend a white, or at least I haven't found a white wine out there, but a nice red wine it goes with. And so I would recommend, I would say you'll enjoy this, but you'll particularly enjoy it. Like, there's, people recommend, all right, don't do a full body cigar. The best time to have a full body cigar is after you had a big steak dinner.
The big steak.
Well, a lot of times I eat the big steak dinner. I'm so full and bloated that a cigar, I don't want something heavy.
Right.
So this is the type of cigar that will go well after that meal.
Nice.
It'll go in that first cigar of the day is one of the cigars I love the best. My after breakfast cigar, my taste buds have been, I've slept, my taste buds are awake. I've had my bacon and eggs or whatever, and that first cigar of the day is special to me.
Oh yeah.
And I also feel, to me, cigars taste differently. The same cigar will taste differently depending on the time of the day, depending on what you just ate, depending on what you just drank. And I've had some cigars that will taste good in the morning, and at night it's like, oh my God, what the hell was what was I smoking?
Who the hell made this?
Exactly. This cigar seems to taste, to me, and people tell me, saying, hey, it tasted good in the morning, tasted good after the steak dinner, tasted good after the rum with the rum. It just seems to be the feedback I'm getting. This is a cigar I can go to and enjoy without fail, and I can recommend it to others because I've enjoyed the experience.
So I need to get a couple of these to keep in the car.
There you go. There you go.
And I say the same thing. They get up in the morning. Like I said, everything is set in. If you had their breakfast, there's a cigar that's followed. There's a cigar I'm gonna have, a nice cup of coffee with it. Midday come around, I'm gonna have me another stick.
Yep.
And next thing you know, here come mid evening and whatnot, having me another stick. I'm gonna probably end up on 4 sticks a dog a day, but that's me. That's what I love. That's just what I do. But it's just great for me. It's like baseball. It's a great pastime.
Yeah. I've found that just about, there are so many experiences just sitting around with a bunch of friends, even if they don't smoke. When I light up, it sort of brings me this additional joy of being where I am at that time.
Right.
I'm a jazz lover, and I have a one particular buddy who's he's a cigar guy and he's a jazz guy.
Okay.
And he and I'll get together and smoke cigars and listen to jazz.
Nice, man.
And that's what we do. And I've got other friends who, they're hey, I found this new cigar. Let's sit down, you and I try it. That's why I've shared the La Llama with my friends who are going to give me the true feedback.
Right.
Who are the people who, and it again, there is just, if you don't get it, you don't get it. But if you get it, what a good cigar, the value and addition it can add to your enjoyment of life.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. I had so many situations where no matter where I go, I always carry sticks with me. And I end up in a situation where I'm at a cookout or work gets me like, man, this is not vibe for me. I'm bored out of my mind. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I find me a stick up. And like you said, it just changes everything. It's almost like I'm sitting there with my cigar and everything else, the world has stopped around me.
Exactly.
And I'm just sitting, I can hear the flies buzzing by, almost like in the movie. They slow everything down. Because now I'm in my own, I'm in my own element, my own world. I'm just now you got to come into my world, which end up happening. Say, hey man, you have another one of those? I'm like, no, I don't have an extra cigar laying around to give away. I know you're not a cigar smoker.
Yeah, exactly. I say that there's no such thing as the extra cigar. You know?
Not at all.
Yeah,
Not at all. It doesn't exist at all. So yeah, man, that just take me to that moment of peace where I just relax. Keep it just almost like what I'm doing right now. Every time I do one of these podcasts, I either got a cigar in my hand and smoke a cigar or not because it's just this what I do. I did a live cast with a young lady. Was it last night? I think it was last night before. Man, I tell you, we had so much fun, but that's the part folks don't understand, and it's truly hard for them to understand why we do this and the enjoyment that we get from it. It really is.
Yeah, exactly.
I lose you. Are you still there? Oh, you still there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. It buffered a little bit, but we're still here.
Okay, cool. So what's the? I know the weekend is coming up. The weekend is there. What's the plans for the weekend?
Well, not sure yet. You know, this is Sunday is Mother's Day here.
Okay.
That could be problematic,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But no, I say that if you have a lot of girlfriends, then you might be in trouble. I don't have a lot of girlfriends, so I'm not going to be in trouble.
That's about my next question.
We're going to see. And, yeah. And then, you know, Monday is Memorial Day, not here,
Right.
but in the United States. And my friends, my expat friends and I usually get together. So we're in the midst of planning a barbecue.
Okay.
At one of my friends' house. So generally on Saturdays, I try to go to the beach. There's a beach within less than an hour, a nice beach with less than an hour from me. Catch the bus, ride out there. There's the big thing is to go out on the beach, order some fish. You pick your fish out of a big vat. They fry it up right there in front of you with some French fries or plantains. And you know what I do when I finish that fish.
I already know.
Yeah, you know. So
they got the Llama ready to go.
And there you go, Llama, or at least some stick is ready to go. So it's one of the things I say about the Dominican Republic. Dominicans have perfected the art of relaxing. And I don't say that as a criticism, I say it as a compliment. When Dominicans relax, they relax. And that means good food, good liquor, good music, and if you're smoking cigars, good cigars. So I'll be tomorrow, more than likely, I'll go to the beach, listen to some sounds, watch the ladies in the bikinis walk by, enjoy that sight, eat some food, drink something, and smoke my cigars.
Nice, man. You living a good life. You living a good life. I can't even hate it.
It is a good life. It is, like I said, there's some adjustments you have to make to life here because you come here expecting things to be like they are in the United States. You're going to be very, very disappointed.
Right.
You got to be ready to go with the flow. Things are slow paced here.
Right.
You know, somebody says, I'll meet you at 1 o'clock. Don't be surprised if you don't see them till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, just don't be surprised.
There's no rush.
There's no rush.
There's no rush.
No rush.
And I can understand that because I being in the military and then being stationed in other countries, you see that there is an adjustment period. You have to be able to adjust to the country because now you don't have everything that you had back in the United States. Now you're over here. Right. You just can't hop in your car and go to Walmart because there isn't a Walmart, or go to one of your favorite spots. So now you have to venture out and start finding those new spots. Which is something I love to do anyway. Like, I don't want the standard American based food. I want to go find something different, or American based, lounge. I want to find something different. And I think a lot of people, when they go to other countries and visit them, they still want to stay towards the American culture. No, get out to the countryside, see what they have to offer, and a lot of people miss that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I criticize people sometimes, they'll tell me, oh, I've been to the Dominican Republic. And I said, well, where'd you go? Oh, I was in an all-inclusive resort. Well, you didn't see the Dominican Republic.
You
were
didn't.
in an all-inclusive resort.
You did.
You were in the resort.
You could have stayed at home for that.
You could have stayed at home, or you could have gone to all-inclusive in Miami.
Right.
You would have been the same thing.
Exactly.
Here, you got to stay in the city. Go to where Dominicans live, not to where they vacation. Not go to where they live. Go to the restaurants they eat in.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the clubs they go to.
Right.
Experience. The music. When 2 or 3 musicians set up on a corner and just start jamming.
Right.
That's the Dominican experience. That's what I've enjoyed. I'm a food person too. I love good food, and there's a lot of great food here. And so I love to experiment. Go places where there's either a food that I've heard of, but they make it differently, and they're known for doing it a certain way. I love to experience that type of thing. So it's a country, if you come to and open your mind to, you're going to have a great time.
Nice. Yes. Yeah. Sorry about that. Working on my connection and everything. That's it. There we go. We're still there. So I'm definitely excited, man. Really, to try to stick out that you have. I do.
Well, send me your address. Send me your address, and I'll put at least a couple of sticks. I'll send you Maduro. I'll send you one of with the natural wrappers. I'll send you a couple, maybe 3 or 4. We'll see. I got some orders I got to fill, so I'm trying to fill my orders right now. Okay. But I'm gonna set a few aside for you.
Okay. Well, look, I'm a type of person, man. I do believe in paying. I do.
Hey, brother, look, you're doing me a favor with this, okay? So and then the thing you can do is follow up when you like it and say, hey, the brother sent me a couple and he wasn't lying.
Hey, I'm definitely going to do that. Definitely do that. I said, and the reason I asked about the lounge thing, because I have a buddy of mine who actually owns a cigar lounge. And what we normally do, we have folks that may send us a stick, and we'll sit there and we'll smoke it. We'll give our thoughts on it and everything. And that's that's something I'm definitely looking forward to trying to stick. And I said, when I saw it on Instagram, I said, man, that's an interesting name.
Right.
And I think second part, I said, damn, I bet that's a damn good stick. That's exactly what I said. And I said, let me go ahead and reach out to this guy, let's see what he got going on.
Well, I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. I love talking about cigars. Again, I've been when I got into cigars, I really got into it. And again, I got into the history and the protocols. How you have to cut a cigar a certain way, and how when you put a cigar out, you don't grind it out in the ashtray, and certain protocols, certain traditions that you sort of learn as it's not just smoking the cigar. There's some traditions that go with it, some things, some rules that you're supposed to follow.
You're right.
you don't be like there's the ugly American tourist. I've run into a lot of ugly cigar smokers. You want to take the cigar out of their mouth and throw it away because say you're wasting it anyway.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
It's coring out on them, it's canoeing, it's doing all kind of crazy stuff. They pull the bic out their pocket to light it with.
Oh, please, or the Zippo with the lighter fluid. And it's like, no, that's no. I've seen so many people do some things that, I did have. I used to go to this. One of my friends, he has his own brand of cigars, but he would do this every Wednesday. He'd pair one of his cigars with a rum, and he'd make sure I got a bourbon. But he had this woman who she would come around and she would light your cigars for you.
Right.
Well, my cigar etiquette is you never let anybody light your cigars. Right. And so she was very hurt that I wasn't gonna let her light her cigars. So her boss came over. I said, letting somebody light your cigars is like letting another man undress your wife before you make love to her.
That's a good damn point. That's a damn good point.
And so I've always remembered that. And it's little things like that. I've tried to be the person, that I sort of honored the traditions that cigars carry with them. Because if you know the history, it's been 400 or 500 years in development to come to where we are today. And they're just, I applaud the people who have basically, many of them spent their life developing great cigars or coming up with great cigars and putting those great cigars because they have a love for the cigars.
Right.
And so that's sort of the way that I have looked at it myself is, I have appreciated cigars. I have loved cigars. I love sharing my love for cigars. And I'd like to think I put some love into the development of Llama. Sometimes I get a little tongue twisted with it myself.
It is a tongue twister.
It is a tongue twister. But, so that's, it's, people really understand cigars and appreciate cigars, also have a respect for cigars as well. And that's important to as well, to understand what has gone into that cigar getting into your hands to be lit. I think I heard you on one of your shows talk about the number of hands-on steps it takes to develop a cigar, that cigar, and it is over 200.
Yeah.
And it's all hands-on. It's not machines. It's somebody putting a seed in the ground and somebody watering the seed and somebody cutting and separating the leaves and fermenting the leaves. And I mean, there's 200 plus individual hands-on steps in developing a cigar. And that's
a very big process.
It's a craft, it's a craft. And I think if you like cigars, you understand and you respect the craft that went into those cigars.
Exactly. Exactly. So, and that's the reason. Again, hey, that's one of the biggest reasons why we smoke, man. That's one of the reasons why we smoke.
Yeah.
So Charles, man, it's truly been a pleasure, man, to get on here with you, man, to talk about the Llama.
I've enjoyed it.
The Llama is just rolling off now. I think I got it. It's just rolling off, and we'll talk about the Llama, man. I can't wait to get this set up and get it out there, and really push it to more people, man. Because again,
I would appreciate it. I'm definitely going to get some to you. Just make sure you send me your address, where to send them to you.
Okay.
And I will definitely get you some. And let's do this again. Let's do
Oh,
this
definitely,
again.
most definitely.
And,
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
and I was gonna say, and hopefully we can do it in the Dominican Republic.
Hey, that. So I will be speaking with the missus here real soon.
Yeah, because I mean, then the thing I can do is set you up with some, some of the people other people who have their own brands. I have a particular cigar store that I've been going to for years. He's a guy who started out just watching somebody else make cigars. He makes great cigars. There's a lot of people I think you'd have some interesting discussions with.
Man, that'd be beautiful. That'd be beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So before we get out of here, Charles, man, anything you got to say to the people, man? Anything at all?
Just enjoy your cigars. Remember that they're a little bit of heaven on earth. They can make a bad day joyous. As you had said, sometimes you just, you can sit by yourself and light up a cigar and have the best time in the world.
Yep.
Have the best time in the world. So I just hope that your viewers, the cigar smokers out there, continue to search for different cigars. There's a lot of cigars out there that you probably, if you don't go out there looking for them, you don't try something new, you're going to miss a lot of good stuff out there.
Right.
So always be on the lookout for the next good cigar that you're going to like. And it doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg, but there's another cigar out there you're going to find that's going to be a gem, and it's going to be a discovery, and you're going to enjoy it, and it's going to be an additional cigar experience.
Right. That's right. That's awesome. That is awesome. So that's it, man. That's it, Charles Maxson, man. I appreciate you, man, taking the time.
Appreciate it, and absolutely. And like I said, send me your address. We'll get that together, and let's plan on doing this again sometime.
Oh, most definitely will. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Mr. Charles Farrell. Like the Neptunes Farrell. He has the Llama. I'm gonna get it right. He has the Llama out there, so make sure you check it out. Hey, this is me, your boy, the cigarologist, hanging out with Mr. Farrell. Next time y'all probably see us, we're gonna be down in the DR, smoking good, rolling cigars, and doing our thing. So that being said, we are all be out. And like I always tell y'all, man, y'all make sure y'all keep it smoking.
Absolutely. Thanks again.
Yes, sir.